Vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow, view, vow to view, vow, 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 vow to view,
vow to view each other's movies, even though we don't always like them, but it's okay because we love each other and movies too.
Hello, and welcome to Vow to View, a Daily Planet podcast all about marriage and the things we make each other watch. My name is Elyse Daly.
And I am Scott Daly.
And together we're the Dailies.
The Dailies. You gotta be consistent for once.
You're a slow talker sometimes, babe.
You're a too fast talker sometimes, babe.
I think I'd rather be too fast than too slow.
Yes, this is the podcast where every week Elyse and I...
You just dismiss me.
I do. Elyse and I pick the movies that we love and make each other watch them so we can learn about what we love and hopefully strengthen our bond as... Do we count as newlyweds anymore?
Well, that's the thing is we're learning about the movies that we love, but really just about the things that we love because we love each other and we're just learning about each other.
Yeah, I agree.
We're just learning about each other.
We are. And this week
I think we're still newlyweds, yes.
It's been over a year.
To answer your question.
It's been over a year. Someone asked us, there's a comment.
Are we an old married couple now?
No. There was a comment last time that asked us how long we've been together.
Oh.
Which is coming up on 3 years.
Coming up on the
3
good
years
old 3.
this April. They said we sounded like a very young couple. And as a 32-year-old man, I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, you should, old man. We made it through the terrible twos.
What?
Almost. Terrible twos. Does it work with the same thing with marriage as it does with children?
With small children? I don't think... First of all, we have not made it through the terrible twos of marriage.
I mean, the first year is the hardest in marriage.
We've had this same conversation before.
I know, and I sang the first song. The first year is the hardest. Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
And then you get to the second year, and that's when the tantrums start. Maybe that means we're going to fight more in year 2.
If we
do. Because this was year 2 that we were together. So are we really talking about year 2 of our marriage, or are we talking about year 2 of just us being together? Because if you're talking about the life of a child, they don't really get to start over their lives.
Why are you comparing our relationship to a child?
The terrible twos.
But that's not... It's incongruous. It doesn't make sense.
I think they're very synonymous. Marriage, it's just growing up. Just like a kid grows up.
Okay. This week on the podcast...
Again, dismissed.
Well, I'm trying to move things along.
Fine.
You're just kind of...
Continue, please.
You will go all day if I let you.
I could.
This week on the podcast, we're celebrating love. Well, we kind of do that every week, but especially this week because it's Valentine's Day.
We're giving love some extra love.
It's Valentine's Day, or rather, when we're recording this, it's the day after Valentine's Day, and when you're listening to this, it's 2 days after Valentine's Day. But
yeah, okay,
it's
sorry.
Valentine's
week. Day was just yesterday?
Yes.
Gosh, this has been a long week.
Yeah, but before we move on to this week, I think we gotta circle back to our discussion question from last week. Our discussion question, which is, what is your go-to childhood film?
Just a second. I meant to tell you this, and I forgot to tell you this, but this is the proper moment because I was putting away some of the mugs in our kitchen, and on the bottom was a sticker, and one of the shops that the mug came from was rock, scissors, paper, which is completely not even what either of us had said, but it's a store, and it's rock, scissors, paper, and it made me think about that from last week, so sorry. Okay, moving on. Yes, Scott.
Yes, so let's talk about last week's discussion question, which was, what is your go-to childhood film? We got a lot of answers to this one. A lot of people are pretty passionate about the films they watched as kids. Do you want to start with the first one, and we'll work our way down this list?
Well, yes, I would like to start with the first one. Do you want me to read out who did it, or just what the movie is? Yeah. You know, I haven't seen all of these.
I haven't seen a lot of these, actually.
So, Walbo said that he used to watch Flight of the Dragons.
Which is an animated Rankin and Bass film. Rankin and Bass, of course, are two filmmakers who did a lot of the claymation films like...
Oh, of course.
Rudolph.
Of course.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the claymation film.
Yeah, and Frosty the Snowman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's Rankin and Bass.
Of course.
But I've never seen Flight of the Dragons. But you know, I'd be interested
Flight of
in
the
checking
Conchords.
That's
it's business. It's business time.
What's the time? How far into the episode are we?
Let's talk about the issues.
All right.
What issue?
Professor Hoyden says that his go-to movie is Digimon the movie, which makes me feel old because I remember that getting big after Pokemon, and I was in high school when Pokemon came out.
Digimon doesn't go Digimon because that's Pokemon, right?
I think it's Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon have more power.
Okay, and then Tildy.
Oh no! Before you go on. Professor Hoyden also said Land Before Time, which I want to talk about Land Before Time because that movie fucked me up.
Did it?
Yeah, that's the movie that taught me about death. Because Littlefoot's mother dies in the beginning, and it's not like
mine was Bambi. Bambi taught me.
Yeah, but Bambi, the mother dies off screen, and you're just told that the mother dies. In Land Before Time, the mother dies in front of her son, telling him that she'll be all right. And I was just like,
she's not all right.
What? And suddenly he's like literally alone, and his mom's dead.
We're going to talk about the issues here.
Fucked me up.
What issues?
And then they ruined it by making like 7 sequels to Land Before Time. And I don't think any of them were good. But I was a huge Land Before Time fan. I had a Littlefoot stuffed animal. And I slept with that stuffed animal for years. So much so that like the neck broke. Like it used to have it's a brontosaurus, so it has a long neck. And the neck like didn't stand up straight anymore and it flapped over.
Poor little foot.
I know.
Your issues.
Why don't we move on to the next person, please?
Yes. Tildy? Mm-hmm. Tildy liked The Sword in the Stone.
Did you ever see that movie, Sword in the Stone?
I think I watched it like maybe once. Didn't really grab me. I was never into the whole King Arthur. It was King Arthur stuff, right? Yeah. When I was little, I never appreciated it. I might watch it now and maybe like it a little bit more. But yeah, when I was little, it never really stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
No Thoroughly Modern Millie.
I've seen it a couple times, but it was.
There are other Disney movies that I watched when I was little that kind of.
Yeah, well, it's a much older one. Yeah. So.
But these next two.
Okay, but
these next two, I will just let you know. One of our teachers had our kids watch this week in class because for our friendship party, because we have Valentine's Day parties, but we have to call them friendship parties because they don't need any more encouragement to try and couple up, might I tell you. We just watched movies.
So why don't you say what the movies are, Elyse?
So Kevin, his was The Emperor's New Groove.
But here's the thing about this one.
What?
This makes me feel very old.
Well, you are old. We've already established that.
Because this movie came out when I was 15 years old.
Yeah, you're
Emperor's
old.
New Groove came out in 2000. So I was not a child anymore when this movie came out. But I loved this movie.
Are you sure? I mean, you might have been very childish.
Emotionally, I'm still a child.
That is true. That is very true. But also, Kevin watched Mighty Ducks, too.
That's a great movie.
And the Mighty Ducks.
Kenan Thompson. The Knucklebuck.
Oh my gosh. I loved the girl in that movie. I can't.
The goalie? Which girl? She played.
Yes.
Yeah. She was in the first one too, right?
Yes. I loved her. She was fantastic.
No, she was not in the first one. She was in the second one.
Well, I loved her.
Because she took over goalieing for Goldberg. Oh, I need to see these movies again. It's been too long.
We should rewatch the Mighty Ducks. Just 1 and 2. I don't remember if
the third one was
very
awful.
good.
No.
Yeah. I remember the first two. Emilio.
What happened to Emilio?
I don't know. I used to get him and Michael J. Fox mixed up.
Okay.
Elyse gets these people mixed up.
I guess I could see that. TMS says his movie was Brave Little Toaster.
What does
Did you ever see?
TMS stand for?
I don't know. That's their username.
Too much screen time?
Probably. Brave Little Toaster. Did you see Brave Little Toaster?
I did not see Brave Little Toaster.
Brave Little Toaster. It's an animated movie. It's kind of like
by Rankin Bass, of course.
It's kind of like I guess it's kind of like a Toy Story precursor because these are like talking appliances that like
they got left behind in a move. Isn't that the premise?
Yeah, like the kid is going to college, I think, and he leaves them behind, and they're trying to get back to their masters. It's kind of Toy Story-ish, but oh man, there was a blanket in it. There was like a blanket warmer blanket, and it's so sad. The poor blanket warmer blanket. That's Brave Little Toaster. That toaster, he was so brave and little. And there was the lamp, and there was the vacuum cleaner. I'm trying to remember what all the characters were. There was a radio. That radio was kind of annoying.
Aren't radios annoying?
Aren't
things where people talk and you just listen to them annoying?
Who would just listen to people talk?
Who would do that?
A Foxtail listed You've Got Mail as their movie, which we have something
Kindred
about.
spirits.
Yeah. And lastly, Elyse, try not to... I'm going to say this. Actually, I'm going to let you say it. But don't do what I think you want to do.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow.
Your singing is being ruined by our dog scratching its ear very loudly.
Just thinking about tomorrow.
Yes, PETA Enigma chose Annie as their movie.
I love ya. Tomorrow.
And I think that's all we have to say about that.
It's Annie. Not Annie Got Your Gun.
No.
It's just
Annie.
It's just Annie.
So that's it. That's it for our discussion question last week. Thank you guys for sending all those in. Although everyone did it via the Discord chat, which was a lot harder to go through.
Little girls everywhere.
We have to move on.
Eat, sleep, and breathe them.
We have to move on. Babe?
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to move on now because Scott doesn't like my singing, and I know that everybody else does, but Scott hears it way too much, and you guys just don't get to hear it as much.
Every day.
And so I just try and sing for you because I know how much you love my singing voice.
Who? Are you talking to me or the listeners?
The people.
The people.
Our people,
Our
Scott.
people?
They're our people.
Okay.
And they love when I sing, I think. If you don't, I don't care because I'm going to keep on doing it.
She's never cared whether or not people love her singing or not.
What?
It does not enter to the equation of should I sing or not right now.
You know, I just enjoy it, so I'm going to do it. So we're going to move right on along and just talk about these movies that we watched this week, Scott.
It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Elyse, did you have a good Valentine's Day?
I had a great Valentine's Day.
What do you think about Valentine's Day? Are you pro or anti Valentine's Day?
You know, I'm just like neither for nor really against. I guess maybe I'm more against, but that's just because I have to deal with children being so pro Valentine's Day that it starts to like
especially
become annoying.
Children on the cusp of puberty.
Oh, I know. They just try and couple up, and they're too young for that. They're too young.
But you get a lot. See, I had never dated a teacher before, Elyse, and one thing that I realized was that holidays, when you're dating a teacher, mean you get a whole bunch of candy.
Yeah.
So much candy.
So much candy.
Christmas, we get tons of candy. Valentine's Day, we get the most
Valentine's Day is when I get pretty much just candy or coffee mugs.
This year, both. We got
that's all that I get. And then there's stuffed animals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I drink coffee. I love coffee. I had to be very picky and selective, though, about my mugs. So I can't ever keep them all.
Well, we have...
And even with the candy, I can't keep all the candy.
We threw away all the candy this year. Well, we gave away.
We gave away candy.
Because as we've said on this podcast before, Elyse and I were doing a sugar-free diet, basically. Yeah. And it ended on Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
but still, we didn't want the temptation.
We're doing, So, I kept some. I kept the good stuff, just like the pure dark chocolate, so that if I want that later, I can. Or some stuff to like do some baking later. Yeah. But gave away a lot of other stuff because, it's just tons of candy all the time.
That's the sad truth to all you out there with kids that are like spending your hard-earned money to give your kids teachers presents. They usually just give them to somebody else. No. Or their husband eats them. Yeah, because I ate a lot of your candy last year.
But, you know, if I were single being a teacher is like the best profession if you're single because you get gifts all the time. So it's like you always feel loved. You always do. I got so many gifts at the beginning. Like my kids would walk up and they just handed them to me. I had to walk to my desk to set them all down because I couldn't hold them all. I'm sorry. Kind. And then I just said that they were showing you up. I said, you guys are all showing my husband up. You're giving me all these good gifts. And they just laughed and laughed.
See, I always want to send
because I'm so funny.
I always want to send you flowers at work, but I feel like it's such a pain for you. Because you don't work in an office, so like you have to go down to like you're in the middle of teaching.
No, they bring them down.
Oh, they do bring them down? Okay, maybe next year I'll send you flowers at work.
You sent them to me the first year we were together.
Yeah, but it was from 1-800-Flowers and it comes in a box. I'm never doing that again. That's crappy.
Yeah. That's what I thought too.
1-800-Flowers will never be a sponsor of Out of You because I think their service. And they came late because I asked them to be delivered before noon, and they came at like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
you right complained. Before you were leaving. I did. They gave me a discount, and I said this is helpful because I'm never ordering from you guys again. Mm-hmm. So that's don't use 1-800-Flowers. Yeah, it's not a good company. It sucks. No. Sucks.
You know what the company is? MeUndies.
Oh yeah, Elyse got me underwear for Valentine's Day.
They're so soft. MeUndies.
Guys.
So soft.
My goal in life is for this podcast to be big enough to where we can be sponsored by MeUndies. Because then MeUndies will send me free underwear.
Oh my gosh. They're the best.
They're amazing.
I thought that they were joking about how soft they were because they always talk about how soft they are. They're not joking.
They're amazing.
They're not joking.
MeUndies, please listen and please send me some underwear.
Yeah, if anyone's got the hookup with MeUndies, why don't you hook a sister up?
I'm pretty sure, actually, I have the hookup with MeUndies.
Well, then why aren't you trying to hook me up?
I'm pretty sure I have friends that were like, that invested in this company when they were very small. I'm going to need to talk to them. I'm going to do that.
I think you should.
MeUndies.
But you know what? You know who has chased a bunny right now? Was you. So I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to be the one that brings it back.
Hold up.
And it's so, Scott, we did talk about these movies this week, didn't we?
Can we step back for a second?
I'm going to be the good one that brings it back.
Can we step back for a second and talk about the phrase chased the bunny?
I do this all the time, only I didn't say that we shot it down with the gun from Starship Troopers this time. So I was trying not to do
bunny?
that.
What is
chased a squirrel, chased a bunny.
That's not a thing.
Yes,
you can just make up expressions.
I didn't make it up. The same person that taught me about sunshades taught me about chasing a bunny.
Well, there we go. There we go. All right.
And sorry. That person's my mom.
I'm sorry. Let's move on to the movie section of the podcast.
Oh, so now you get to bring it back and I can't be the one
I was apologizing for going on a tangent.
Okay. Yes. Let's come back.
Elyse.
What?
Our theme this week was romantic comedies to go along with Valentine's Day.
It was.
So we both
I don't think your movie was very funny, though. Not as comedic as mine.
I mean,
mine was a little bit more comedic.
Mine had Ryan Reynolds in it.
Mine has
master of
Doris Day,
Deadpool,
and Rock Hudson.
I don't think of comedy when I think of Rock Hudson. I think of romance.
When they're both together, it's
romance,
romantic comedy.
When Isla Fisher and Ryan Reynolds are together, romantic Anyway,
no. Okay,
let's move on.
Okay,
Elyse, what movie did you select?
I chose Pillow Talk. It's a 1959 movie written by Stanley Shapiro and Maurice Richland, who wrote The Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther,
which is another fantastic movie.
I love the Pink Panther series.
And it was directed by Michael Gordon. It won 1 Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Oh. Doris Day was actually nominated for Best Actress for this movie.
Win.
No, I think it was the only movie she's ever been nominated for a leading actress role.
Did Rock Hudson not get nominated?
Not
he basically has to play 2 roles.
I know.
What is this? What is Pillow Talk about?
So I looked it up on IMDb, and I think this is the best summary because it's just super simple and vague but perfect. So it's a man and a woman who share a party line, cannot stand each other, but he has fun romancing her with his voice disguised.
So for those of our listeners that watched Emperor's New Groove when they were children, what is a party line?
Yeah, nobody knows, right?
Yeah, well, young people probably don't know that when phones were not as big, like you didn't get your own individual line.
I know.
Shared a line with when phones first came out, like towns shared a line.
I know.
And this is 1950s to where they're transitioning to everyone getting their own line. But basically, these two people who happen to be Rock Hudson and Doris Day share a line, and Rock Hudson is like a ladies' man.
He is a songwriter, so he is, of course, a ladies' man, and she gets really frustrated with him
Doris
because
Day is a
she
no-nonsense.
always tries to use the phone and can't because he's always on the line with another lady singing the same song, pretending it's written for her. Mm-hmm. And so she tries to get him to have his own line, or really, she tries to get her to have her own line.
Yeah, she reports
reporting him
for indecent, because apparently the phone company had laws or rules against what you could do on your phone.
And my gosh, you cannot talk like that to women on the phone.
Were an interesting time. Whew.
So anyways, it ends up being this love triangle. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize who you really were. And they're at a restaurant, and Rock Hudson's character overhears the conversation, figures out that it's the lady he shares the phone with, and then decides to try and woo her in order to try and make her feel stupid and
no, that's not.
Party. I think he was trying to do it in order to play a trick on her and realize that
I think he looked at her and it was love at first sight and knew.
I don't think he.
And knew. I think it. Okay, I think it was a little bit of both. I think he looked at her and was interested and knew she would never talk to him if he was himself, and also he just wanted to screw with her.
Interesting interpretation you might get there.
He pretends to be from Texas.
Yeah, because all good men come from Texas.
Yep. So he pretends to be from Texas.
Those southern gentlemen.
And he woos her with his gentlemanly Texas side.
Yes, sir.
But of course this all blows up in his face because he gets caught because
it's a romantic comedy.
It just so happens that the man that loves Doris Day's character is business partners with Rock Hudson's character, and he finds out that his friend has been double dealing.
Ooh, and not with the woman that he loves.
And it blows up, and there's a big fight, but then, of course, because it's a romantic comedy,
Doris
they work
Day
it out in the end.
Goes back and chooses him.
Doris Day
Rock Hudson
redoes his apartment, and that apparently makes them fall in love because she's a decorator. Doris Day's character is a decorator. Who's
interior designer.
Interior decorator.
I think that's better.
Okay. Elyse.
Yeah.
Why'd you pick this movie?
So, when I was growing up, my classic movie star icon was Audrey Hepburn. Mm-hmm. But in the church youth group that I grew up in, one of my mentors was obsessed with Doris Day and Rock Hudson, and she would always go on and on and on about them. And so I forget at what occasion I finally was like, I just want to watch one of their movies. And so I watched this one, and I thought it was so cute, and I just adored it. And then later, whenever I watched Down with Love for the first time, it reminded me of this movie, and then I just would go back and watch Pillow Talk and Down with Love, and it was just so fond of an affection for both of them.
I guess that's what we should. Down with Love is loosely based on this movie.
I was reading about it. It's actually all three of their romantic comedies.
Oh, really?
Is what so that's where...
This is the first one, right? This is the first Rock Hudson, Doris Day.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Where I was telling you, Rock Hudson almost didn't do it because he thought that the script was too risque at the time. And really, if you watch it and you think about the 1950s, it really was very risque for the time.
This was 1959. The sexual revolution of the 60s was on the horizon, but it had not hit yet. And you're absolutely right. This movie is very blatant with the fact that he is sleeping around. There is a lot of sexual innuendo throughout. And then there's the whole thing
about him being pregnant, and then it's it's a really weird little beat on the side.
There's this whole weird beat where he sees Doris Day at the office that he was at, and to get away from her, he hides in a doctor's office. He doesn't realize that the doctor is the OBG part of the OBGYN, I think, It doesn't realize that so he says he needs to see the doctor. So because this is kind of a ridiculous comedy portion of the movie, the doctor assumes that he must be a man that's magically become pregnant. And it's like a 3-beat throughout the movie, because you have it once and then he sees him again and tries to chase him down. And then at the very end of the movie, he says, "I'm pregnant," meaning we're pregnant. And it's just hilarious. It's just really out of left field, like completely out of place in the movie, but funny. Yeah. But I mean, for 59, I mean, it's very, there is like a lot, like it's non-subtle innuendo that I was very surprised to see in a movie of this age. It was surprising. Yeah. I loved this movie.
I'm so happy you liked it.
And I thought it was very funny. I thought it was very beautiful. The movie really likes to do like
split screen.
It really likes to do split screen, which makes sense because they're talking on the phone a lot. I like that Rock Hudson not only would pretend to be big tech's guy, but then would like call her pretending like as himself, warning her about what he was going to do later.
If he's really a gentleman, then he won't do this. He's really just trying to get you back to his hotel room. Yeah, he's gonna invent some excuse in order to get you to go back there, and then he does it. And
of course he does it, but then it's just to show her the view, because he can like manipulate her to like expect but not expect things. But that was weird because he's pretending. That's just Elyse hitting our dog live.
I believe in spanks.
Especially when the dog's being annoying.
You lost your train of thought.
He is pretending to be this person that's out of town from Texas, and he takes her back to his hotel room to show her the view, which means Rock Hudson rented this hotel just for the scam.
He's really dedicated.
He must be a very well-off singer-songwriter because he has money to just throw away on stuff like this.
Super dedicated. And completely redo his apartment, too.
Yeah. But the movie likes to do, like, you'll jump into the characters' internal monologue in their heads.
Oh, yeah.
It does that back and forth a lot for pretty comedic results, I think. Except for the part where Doris Day, like, when they're in the car going to... where are they going at the end of the movie? I can't remember.
To the house?
Connecticut. Yeah. They're driving out to Connecticut. We go in her head, and she's singing in her head. There is a song in this movie.
Well, yeah, because Doris Day has to sing.
Well, yeah, but it's like, it's weird, because like, is she really singing in her head? Or is this just like, is the music diegetic or non-diegetic? I don't know.
I don't know either.
But it was really random. But I like this movie a lot.
I'm glad that you liked it. We should own it because we had to rent it, but I think this is one that we should own. I don't know if they have it.
Of the movies you've made me watch so far, this is up there. This is one of my favorite.
More than Curly Sue?
Yes.
More than The Music Man?
The Music Man is really good.
The Music Man's a solid choice.
This is definitely better than Thoroughly Modern Millie.
I know. We're not going to talk about that anymore.
It was a cute movie. I think I understand why Rock Hudson and Doris Day have this thing because I think they work very well together. It's a little like seeing Rock Hudson play like a ladies' man, knowing who he is as a man who is closeted almost his entire life. And
Doris Day didn't even know that he was when he died. Like up until he died, she did not know.
I don't know if anyone because he came out basically when he got AIDS, right? Like he got AIDS during the AIDS crisis, and that's when he came out as a gay man. And that was like he died not too long after he came out, I believe. But like it's just so interesting to think of this like and of course this was still part of the studio system of the 50s where they were billed as like the most romantic couple of all time. And I think it shows how good of an actor Rock Hudson was that
he's
he could
real good
that he could fake this real natural chemistry that these two characters had. I enjoyed that very much, and I haven't seen any of these three movies. What are the other two? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I bet I could look it up really quick because I have this other stuff. The Lover Came Back is the 1961. And then what was the other one that they did together? The Thrill of It All. Okay. The Thrill of It All, Pillow Talk, and the lover came
Would
back.
I be wrong in saying Pillow Talk's probably the most well-known of the three, or at least well-regarded?
I have not seen the other two. The only other one that's big of her movies that I kind of latched onto was That Touch of Mink. So those Pillow Talk and That Touch of Mink are my two Doris Day movies. And yeah, I made you watch That Touch of Mink.
You did?
I did.
I know I had seen it. I don't remember it was you. When did we do that?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, this is a really good movie. It's there's
Send Me Flowers. Send Me No Flowers.
There is
that's another one. Send Me No Flowers.
They were in more than three.
Pillow Talk. The Thrill of It All. Correction, is not Rock Hudson.
Okay.
It is Send Me No Flowers. Pillow Talk. And
okay, this is great radio. Let's
and I'm not very quick on the internet, people. No. You give me a task and I'll get it done eventually. But you want it done now? No, I'm not your girl.
But this is definitely your kind of humor in this movie. It's silly, but like, sorry to keep comparing it to Fairly Modern Millie. It never gets like that level of silly. I think my favorite part is when at the very end of the movie, she's really pissed at him and he hires her firm to do the interior decorating of his apartment.
Yes.
As like a thinly veiled attempt to get her there to try to make amends and try to apologize for lying to her the whole time.
She ain't having none of that.
No.
No.
But she goes to his place, and his place is like bachelor pad extreme to where
with a light switch that locks the door.
He has
super creepy.
Yeah, he has two light switches on a console table behind his couch. The first locks his door and turns like
the lights
sexy
down
lights
and
sexy
puts the
light
music
mood.
on.
The second one makes a bed fall out of the couch. And it's like, it's funny, but yeah, the door locking.
It's funny, but very inappropriate.
The door locking.
1959?
The door locking
what?
Is troublesome.
Yeah.
Troublesome.
Yeah.
Problematic. Locking a woman in your apartment.
Means no.
But it's like, I don't, like, obviously it's not meant, I don't think it's meant to imply that.
I hope not.
And so, and you have to look at this movie with a grain of salt. But I thought the fact that, like, he's trying to convince her that he's not this playboy person or that he's changed or, like, she's changed him. And she touches...
Disable the light switches before she comes over.
Yeah. And then she's like, what do these switches do? And he's like, no, you don't want to do that. And she's like, I'm going to redecorate your room. I have to know what the light switches do. And when she decorates his place, she basically turns it into, like, an opium den looking thing. It's like not subtle at all, but I guess it's okay in the end because he likes it, or she's forgiven him. I thought the turn at the end where she's just forgiven him was a little clunky in my opinion. I didn't see why it happened, like,
because it's true love.
Of course, I mean it's a romantic comedy. It's always gonna happen in the end.
True love. Yeah.
Yeah, so that anything else about Pillow Talk? Did you learn anything about relationships besides don't pretend to be someone else when you really like a person because it's going to blow up in your face, obviously?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
I don't think so.
All right.
Don't share a party line.
Well, that's not a problem anymore. We have cell phones.
Thankfully.
Mm-hmm. This movie could not exist in 2018.
I know. It's kind of crazy to think about that. Pillow Talk and You've Got Mail both be completely different nowadays.
Mm-hmm. You've Got Mail would be like called Swipe Right.
How would they do Pillow Talk these days?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I mean, they did it with Down with Love with just the book publisher.
Yeah, but that was kind of completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the inciting incident. Bless you.
Bless you, Ghost. Dogs sneeze, don't they? I guess she's allergic to me.
Okay, so that was Pillow Talk. We will move on to my movie right after this.
Buy Me Undies. They're super soft, and your dogs are allergic to them.
It's time to talk about
Time
my
for
movie.
what?
It's time for my movie.
Is it time for me to sing my Guess Who's Back?
No.
Back again. Scott is back. Don't tell a friend.
For my romantic comedy, I picked 2008's Definitely Maybe. This was written and directed by Adam Brooks. And it's funny because like the poster for this movie says brought to you by the people that created Love Actually and Notting Hill. And for a second there, I was like...
I really liked Love Actually.
Notting Hill is a great movie, too.
Notting Hill's good, too. It's my fall asleep movie for a while because I just liked it. It was pleasant.
And I was like, I didn't know that that Adam Brooks was involved in those two movies. And I looked it up, and what it means is basically Working Title Productions, the studio, just happened to produce all three movies. There's no creative people on any of the three movies that share each other, so...
So it's a lie.
It's a lie. It's a marketing ploy.
Ugh.
But, yeah, this is the Ryan Reynolds, Isla Fisher...
Or maybe they're saying
Elizabeth
this movie
Banks.
Definitely, maybe had some people from Love Actually.
That's not a good joke. Are you going to do that the whole time we're talking about it?
I am.
Rachel Weisz, Elizabeth Banks.
Maybe.
Isla Fisher. I'm trying to talk about the movie, Elyse.
Okay, I'll let you. I'm sorry.
Ryan Reynolds, Isla Fisher, Elizabeth Banks, Rachel Weisz, all people I love. Kevin Kline. This is a great cast. The story of the movie is Ryan Reynolds is a advertising writer living in New York City. He has a daughter named Maya, who's played by a very young Abigail Breslin, who's adorable. He's been recently divorced, and his daughter goes through sex ed class, so she starts asking him questions about where she came from, and he decides to tell her the story of how he and his mother met, but he, for reasons that are just because it would make a more interesting movie, I guess, decides to make it a mystery, so he doesn't tell her the names of any of the women, so which one of these three women in his life ends up being the girl's mother is a mystery until it's revealed right at the end of the second act.
Should you really tell your kid that you didn't love your mom as much as you loved somebody else your entire life?
Well, I think the point of the thing is that he didn't... I just
snorted.
I think the point of the movie, Elyse, is that he didn't realize that he loved that character.
Well, yeah, she told him that April loved him the entire time. What? She came back for me?
Yeah.
Boys are so dumb sometimes.
So
most times.
So this movie...
Sorry, boys.
I picked this movie because I think this is a really well-written film, actually. I like it a lot. It is sort of the same as all other romantic comedies, but I think it's sort of different. I like the structure of it, this story. For some reason, I love him as like this young, hopeful Democrat that wanted to be the president who works for the Clinton campaign, and like it's...
Because you're secretly him?
No, I never.
Do you want to be president?
No, hell no. But
President Daly.
No, please no. But we see him through the 90s and the Clinton campaign, and this movie really loves New York City. And we've talked about New York City.
Both of our movies really love New York City.
Yeah, but this movie opens...
It's just we love New York City.
This movie opens with Ryan Reynolds, like, walking from his office to meet his kid, and it's just basically shots of him walking through New York City and all the people and buildings. I mean, this movie loves New York City. It's very blatantly obvious, and Ryan Reynolds' character loves the city as well. I like this. This movie came out in 2008, and I was forced to work in New York City in 2009 for 2 whole months in the summer, because I worked for a accounting firm that when you were available, when you didn't have a client, they would farm you out to other offices that needed help, and the New York City office needed help. So I got an email on a Tuesday that says, "You're going to New York for a month tomorrow." And I lived in the city for a month and a half, I think.
So fun.
Yeah. And so I would walk from my hotel to the office. And I had seen this movie not too long ago when he walks the streets of New York City while listening to music on his headphones. And for whatever reason, I felt like a New Yorker when I would walk down the street listening to music on my headphones.
You can just admit that you wanted to be Ryan Reynolds.
I mean,
we won't blame you.
Doesn't want to be Ryan Reynolds?
I mean, I don't really want to be Ryan Reynolds.
You want to be with Ryan Reynolds.
I would rather be Blake Lively, but you know,
okay,
that's fine.
But yeah, so this movie follows his relationship with these 3 women. You learn which one is actually his mother, or the girl's mother, but their relationship is obviously ending, and then it's revealed at the end that Isla Fisher the whole time was the woman he really loved, and they of course get together in the end because it's a romantic comedy. But I think this is a very funny and cute movie. I can't believe you don't think it's funny.
I think it's cute. I don't know. There are some movies that I think of are more just romantic movies, and there are some movies where I really think they're romantic comedies. And I would say this is more of just a romantic movie than a romantic comedy. But that's just me.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like, because there are 3 women in this movie, that, like, it's not... You get to see, like, the movie strives to show different kind of women. Like, it's not just...
I call it a chick flick. Yeah, it's a chick flick. It's not a romantic comedy.
Those are synonymous.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, I beg to differ. This is a just definite chick flick. You like chick flicks.
Isla Fisher's character is more like she's...
I always wanted to be that one.
She's close to the Manic Pixie Dream Girl type tropey character, but not really. She's like different and weird and independent, but her story of the film is kind of like one where she's just trying to figure out her life, and she ends it like in a really good place, like before they even get together. And then you have Rachel Weisz's character is like she's a journalist, so she's like the intellectual of the girlfriends that's really smart and hardworking. And then the only one that I think gets kind of a short shrift is Elizabeth Banks. And that's interesting because she's the mother of she's the thing which the conceit of the love mystery revolves around, but she's the least characterized because she leaves very early in the movie because she breaks his heart by sleeping with his really jerky, gross roommate, which is a real bummer. And then she comes back at the very end, but we don't really get to know much about her.
Yeah, which is why I always think that I forget that she's really the mother. And then I watch it and I'm like, who really was the mother? I think it was her. I don't really remember, but I always liked Isla Fisher the most, so I always wish it was her, but then it's okay because it's not her because he actually ends up with her in the end. Anyways, it's just, yeah.
Isla Fisher, though,
always goes back and forth. Yeah, what about her?
She's great.
I do. I really like her.
She's great.
She's so fun.
Looks a lot like Amy Adams.
I know.
Remember that movie Nocturnal Animals?
Where
Isla Fisher plays a character that's supposed to look like it. They cast it knowing that they looked like each other.
That was crazy.
It was a pretty good movie. Anyway.
I didn't like that movie.
I did. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong. Anyway. Yeah.
I'm giving him a really mean look right now, just so you guys know. I'm not being silent and letting him give me that. It's all in the face right now.
But so this movie, like... It's been a while since I watched it. I don't own it, so I don't watch it all the time. And I think it held up pretty well. Did you enjoy the movie?
I mean, I do. This has never been one of my favorite movies. And I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and it's one of those where, like, again, it doesn't really stick with me. I always get confused as to, did I really see this? Do I really remember who did it?
Who did it?
Not who did it. Who done it. But who really is the mom? Because it's, I don't know. I never really, like, grabbed me super hard. You know, it's just...
Why?
I don't know. I like all of the people that are in it. I think Abigail Breslin is adorable, but it's just one of those movies that I feel like I'd always have on in the background because I never really just get invested with it. Because it's not really funny. It's not a comedy. It's just a romantic movie. You just put it on and you just want to watch it. And it's just
it's funny. It has jokes in it. What is that noise?
It's just my
It's
noise.
a funny movie. Ryan Reynolds is funny.
He can be. He's funny in Deadpool. I think Deadpool's funnier than definitely maybe.
Well, yes.
Definitely.
Maybe.
No, maybe. Definitely.
What's your favorite scene of this movie?
Of this one? I like when they meet at the copy machine. I don't know why I like that the best, but I just like when they meet at the copy machine.
When she gives out her philosophy, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, I'm just me. I figured you like that, because when I watched that scene, I was like, Elyse likes this, because Elyse gets very mad when annoyed when I am harshly partisan in my Democratic leanings. So I figured you would like the character that refuses to be labeled by a political party and just likes to... be herself. I identify with Will, Ryan Reynolds' character, which is probably why I like this so much, because I like that, like, his like political ideals are challenged throughout the movie. Just like his like a lot of this movie is him growing up and realizing like what is important in life and what isn't, and like he wanted to be president. Obviously that's not going to happen. He realizes at the end of the movie he's not really happy. His life hasn't gone the way he wanted it to. And part of it, of course, because it's a romance movie, is that he was never honest and real with the person he cared about throughout all of it, which sucks for like his marriage, because that's like...
Yeah,
he was aware of it. I mean, like, that's probably... I mean,
they were divorced without having her in it, and then he realized or part of the reason that he probably didn't have a happy marriage was because he never really loved her. But he didn't really know who he loved.
One thing the movie does not do is really say why the divorce happened. It's kind of implied that, like, she asked for the divorce because, like, she signs the paper first and then hands it over to him, and it seems like it's a tough decision for him. But yeah, I mean, when you are unhappy and, like if he was secretly in love with this other woman all along, even if he didn't realize it, yeah, that's going to do a number on your marriage, I think. At least I am not subconsciously in love with anyone else. You don't have to worry. You might be.
I did just go see that one movie I told you I had a crush on.
Yeah, we just got back from seeing Black Panther, and Elyse told me she's in love with
biggest
Michael B.
crush
Jordan.
on Michael B. Jordan.
So,
oh my gosh,
not really something I can compete with.
He's so great.
Anyway,
I love you more. Don't worry.
I like the scene. My favorite scene of this movie is when he and Isla Fisher are on top of the rooftop and he's proposing to her. The scene that has the title in it.
That's a good one too.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't like the title of this movie. Like, I get like that's a scene where like he fake proposes to her to practice on her, and she says definitely, maybe. And I get that's catchy, but I don't think it fits with what the movie's...
Was this based on a book or anything?
I don't think so.
That maybe it got it from there?
I don't think so.
It was original? Well,
yeah.
They should have workshopped that a little bit harder.
I agree.
Working title? Should have still been the working title. Working title. I'm so funny.
Studio burn.
Yeah.
They don't...
That one
they
hurt.
Don't care.
They should. They should care about my opinion. My opinion really matters. I'm the people.
So did you learn anything about me? I mean, so when you were watching this movie, did you know
You're a
why
hopeless
I picked
romantic,
this?
Scott. You are. When I watch these movies with you, it's just, you are. Sometimes I think you like romantic movies more than I do. You're such a kinder, softer person than I am. And it's really sweet and I love it. But I don't think I have a hard heart. It's just...
No one's saying you have a hard heart, babe.
No, I know. I just watch these, though, and I just look at you, and I know you just, like, you're so soft, and you just love it, and it's just all there.
Movies get under my skin more than anything else.
I know.
You know? So, like, yeah,
and then I'm watching the same thing, and I'm thinking, I'm a girl. I'm supposed to be like Scott is right now. I'm supposed to be into it like he is. And I'm just, There
is definitely something identifiable about Ryan Reynolds' character in this movie.
And maybe that's why you like it a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, his ambition, his dreams, I think the idea of having a plan where you, like, what you thought your life was going to be, and then your girlfriend sleeps with your best friend and ruins all that. Okay, that part didn't happen to me, but I did have a girl I was dating coming out of college, and we broke up, and that kind of like threw my life into turmoil, trying to figure out that my whole plan for what my life was going to look like got thrown apart, and I kind of had to find myself, and I don't think I sunk as low as Ryan Reynolds sinks in this movie. As Will
Hayes.
You know what the thing that pisses me off the most?
What?
About this movie.
Tell me.
So after he gets dumped by the second girl, Summer,
yeah,
and he loses his job because she writes that article about the man he was speech writing for. So he loses his job, loses his girlfriend, loses his best friend. He's like broken. He's sitting in his apartment, like eating noodles and yelling at Bill Clinton on the TV, because this is also the middle of the Monica Lewinsky scandal. So not only did he lose his job, lose his girlfriend, but then the political figure that inspired him has turned out to just be just a guy that is just gonna lie and cheat. I like Bill Clinton too, but he cheated on his wife and then lied to the American people.
He's had a recovery process.
Did that. Yeah. So then Isla Fisher shows up and says, "It's your birthday. We gotta get you to the bar for your birthday." And he goes there, and everyone's like, "Man, you really look like shit." He doesn't really look like shit, though. It just looks like he hasn't shaved in a day.
No.
He still looks like Ryan fucking Reynolds.
There's a good Ryan Reynolds, and there's a bad one. And I was scrolling through Instagram during this movie, and I scrolled down, and I saw a picture of this man who looked really old. And I thought, who is that? And then I read the caption, and it's Ryan Reynolds. He's had 2 kids now. He just does not look like he did in this movie.
Well, it was 10 years ago.
You know what? It doesn't matter. Age and children.
But
it's not good. Not good for the soul.
My point was that Ryan Reynolds is a very...
My point is Ryan Reynolds does not always look good. He's not always at 110.
But in this movie...
Sometimes he's a 99.
Okay. In this movie, the world of the movie says, like, Ryan Reynolds looks like a homeless person right now. He's supposed to be dressed horribly, in terrible shape, looks shitty, but he still looks like Ryan Reynolds, and everyone's talking about it. It's like, man, you look terrible. And I'm like, no, he doesn't. He looks like Ryan fucking Reynolds.
It's just because you want to be Ryan Reynolds.
I don't.
I'm glad you don't.
I want to be friends with Ryan Reynolds. He seems really hilarious.
I bet you he'd be... We should be couple friends with Ryan and Blake.
Okay, I'll have my people reach out to Blake and Ryan.
I think we should.
We'll make that
Hey, Ryan and Blake, we could do a MeUndies commercial with you guys. I think it'd be pretty great.
So my 2 takeaways, my 2 to-dos from this podcast are contact the MeUndies people and then get in touch with Blake and Ryan.
I think what you should really do is say, hey, MeUndies, why don't you have Blake and Ryan be your new spokesmen? But because we suggested spokespeople, whatever. Since we suggested it, why don't we all be spokespeople? We're the people.
Yeah, here's a great plan. Put me in some MeUndies, and then stand me next to Ryan Reynolds in MeUndies. That'll sell a lot.
That'll solve the world's crises, all of them.
It sounds like a really great plan.
I think it is.
Okay.
You'll be next to Ryan. I'll be next to Blake, and we'll both look like fish out of water.
And the ad will be, from the average Joe to the superstar. MeUndies is soft.
They're
for all
soft
of
no
them.
matter whose butt they're on.
All right. Did you have anything else you want to talk about? Definitely, maybe, or Pillow Talk. Is there a connection between these two?
I mean, they're both New York.
Yeah.
Both crazy women.
Are there crazy?
No,
women
not
in
really.
this? No.
Not really. No. Yeah, just both New York. Lots of movies. Lots of our movies are New York.
What's the boy word for slut? His daughter
Scott.
says to him. They haven't come up with one yet.
Scott.
It shows also. I don't think that joke would work in 2018.
The boy word for slut.
Yeah.
Probably not.
It's amazing how fast things become inappropriate.
Yeah, but Pillow Talk, all those work.
Timeless. Locking a woman in your apartment.
Oh yeah, maybe that's not so good.
Just timeless.
You know.
All right. Let's move on to our viewer question then for this week. Are you ready?
Yeah, we got something we want to know from you.
Yeah.
You people.
You want to read it?
You, my people. Yeah, I'll totally read our question. So
she's buying time as she gets the thing up.
Our question for this week is, what's a romantic comedy you are least embarrassed about admitting you like?
I thought that was good.
And
just
Scott
not
admitted he liked Definitely Maybe, which is totally not a romantic comedy. His is just a pure chick flick. So Scott likes chick flicks. So, don't be afraid to admit all the chick flicks you like.
Romantic comedy, Elyse. Do you have one? Do you have an answer?
A romantic comedy you were least embarrassed about admitting you like?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Okay. I'm all about that Notting Hill, though. I would proudly declare Notting Hill.
Notting Hill's good.
It used to be Love Actually. And then I watched that movie and realized how fucked up it is and terrible. It's really messed up.
I feel like I just need to kind of look through these romantic comedies.
Okay, why don't we circle back next week and have you give your answer when we read the people's answers.
The people. My people.
All right.
Our people.
We will do that.
Yeah, what?
Okay,
I'm looking at the movie shelf right now.
We're not going to do this right now.
Such a big movie shelf.
We're going to do this later. We're not going to do it right now. Elyse, next week's episode.
Yo. Bum 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 bum.
Every time you sing, the dog starts.
Bum 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 bum.
We are doing a Olympics themed episode because the Winter Olympics are going on right now. So we are going to pick some of our favorite Winter Olympics movies. And you know what, Elyse? What we found out when we decided to do this theme?
There are only 3 Winter Olympic movies ever made.
There are not very many
only
Winter
3
Olympics movies. And both of us, of course, the first film that jumps to your head when you think Winter Olympics is Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
So
the Jamaican bobsled team.
So we are not, neither of us are going to do Cool Runnings.
Because we both have seen Cool Runnings.
We might talk about Cool Runnings a little bit, but
we might still watch it because we like the movie.
Yeah,
it was just
a great movie.
We've both seen it, and we're trying to broaden each other's horizons here. We're trying to make sure that we are enriching each other's lives as well as all of your lives as well by either making you watch things that, you know what? Sorry, they're bad. We didn't remember how bad they were, or you know what? Oh my gosh, greatest movie ever. Totes gotta watch it again.
Ghostbusters.
Totes, not Ghostbusters.
Elyse?
Yeah.
What movie did you pick for our Winter Olympics themed episode next week?
The Cutting Edge.
What? I've never even heard of this movie.
I don't know how you've never heard of this movie. This is the best movie ever.
Okay.
It's really not that good at all. It's really a terrible movie. And they made a sequel to it with the girl from Even Stevens on the ABC Family channel.
What was her name? Kim Possible?
Yeah, Kim Possible. Anyway.
She's one of those people, she had a 3-name name, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay, so the Cutting Edge is Elise's movie.
Oh man, there's 4 of them.
No, we're watching the first
There's
one.
The Cutting Edge. The Cutting Edge, Going for the Gold. The Cutting Edge 3, Chasing the Dream. And The Cutting Edge, Fire and Ice.
Okay.
Christy Carlson Romano.
There we go. My movie is also a figure skating film. I picked Blades of Glory, which is the Will Ferrell film.
I admit to never having watched it.
Yeah, so I've never seen Elise's movie. Elise's never seen my movie, which is the way we like it. 'Cause we get to, I love Will Ferrell. We're going to do a favorite Will Ferrell movie episode sometime. You don't have to think of it right now. It's the future.
Why do you always ask me these questions? I'm on the spot, and I know it's a recording thing and you can edit, but it always just makes me freeze.
I'm literally telling you right now
frozen.
that you do not have to.
Cutting Edge, Fire and Ice. I guess I had better watch that one and unfreeze my brain with fire.
Okay, that's awful. So those are the 2 movies we'll be watching next week to celebrate the Winter Olympics.
Is that did I talk too loud this whole time? Have I been talking too loud? People, am I yelling at you?
Well,
I'm sorry if you feel like I'm yelling at you, people.
When you were reading the names of the ice skating movies, you were very loud, yes.
I'm sorry, people.
There's this magical thing called volume adjustment.
There's also apologies, and I'm not below giving apologies for when I've done something wrong. And if I've yelled at you, and I've hurt your ears, and I made you turn down the volume, I'm sorry!
The phrase is, I'm not above.
I'm not above.
I'm not below.
I'm not below. I'm neither above nor below. I'm just there, apologizing.
All right, guys, that's all we have time for this week. If you like this podcast, you can check out all the other shows we do over at, where, Elise? What's the name of the website?
DailyPlanetFilms.com.
You seemed unsure about that.
I
That's
know.
troubling.
I almost wanted to say Daily Planet Productions, but I knew it wasn't Daily Planet Productions. It's DailyPlanetFilms.com.
Yes.
Daily, D-A-L-Y. You ain't
go.
got no alibi. We're dailies. Yeah. We're the dailies. I always like doing that.
Also, if you like what you do and want to help support us, you can consider donating to our Patreon account. You just go to patreon.com/dailyplanetfilms. We got tons of backer rewards there when you help us out, including access to our wonderful Discord that Elise joined.
Yeah, people. I'm the wife.
Yeah, it literally, that's her username is.
It's the wife.
So that's all, Elise.
Yo.
Happy Valentine's Day. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day.
I did.
I had a great one.
I'm glad.
3rd Valentine's Day together.
Yeah.
She had to think about it for a minute.
What did we do for the first one?
I don't remember.
I don't either. It was a good one. It was very memorable. I remembered the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
That was about it.
I always get you flowers.
I know you do.
Even though you don't like roses.
Yeah. Who likes roses? Ugh.
All right, guys. All right, guys. We will see you all next week.
No, we won't see them. We'll talk to them. We never see them.
It's an expression, Elise.
I just wish you were factual in your
Elise,
expressions.
just say goodbye to the people.
Bye, people. We love you.
I'm Emily, your college sweetheart. Is there something you wanted to ask me?
Emily.
Wait, you gotta get down on your knee.
No, I'm not getting down on my knee.
She'll like it. She'll like seeing you down on your knee.
I'm not getting down on my knee.
Such a mistake. Okay.
Emily.
Yes, William.
Don't make me laugh. Emily. Will you... marry me?
No.
God.
What do you mean, will you, marry me? I haven't seen you in weeks. You don't look happy or excited about the prospect of our marriage. You're asking me to give up my freedom, my joie de vivre for an institution that fails as often as it succeeds. And why should I marry you anyway? I mean, why do you want to marry me? Besides some bourgeois desire to fulfill an ideal that society embeds in us from an early age to promote a consumer capitalist agenda.
Oh! Oh my God!
You should have got on your knees.
Just shut up. Here. I want to marry you because you're the first person that I want to look at when I wake up in the morning, and the only one I want to kiss goodnight. Because first time that I saw these hands, I couldn't imagine not being able to hold them. But mainly, when you love someone as much as I love you, getting married is the only thing left to do. So, will you?
Maybe. I have to think about it.